Good day, everyone. It's Meredith Leon-McCormack, and this is World Bride Magazine, and we are bringing you yet another guest. And David Wachs is going to explain to us this extraordinary service that I found really interesting that might make you nervous, but he's going to clear it all up. Welcome, David. How are you?
Hi, Meredith. Thank you so much for having me on. This is awesome.
Good, good. So please tell us your full name. Did I say it right? The last
You
name right?
did.
Okay,
Yep, you did.
good, good. And tell me the name of your company and what is the service that you offer?
I'm David Wachs. I'm the founder and CEO of Handwritten, and it's spelled a little funny,
Hmm.
Handwrytten. And it's spelled that way because things aren't actually handwritten, they're handwritten with a robot. So we are used by a number of types of companies and individuals.
Hmm.
Some very high-end luxury brands use us, but so do weddings and
Mm.
brides. So you can just go on our website
Hmm.
and upload your gift list and say thank you to everybody that attended your wedding in like 2 minutes. My wife used it for our wedding.
Hmm.
And what we do is we allow you to create your own card on the website. And then we use real pens, robots holding real pens, write out your thank you notes longhand, write out the envelopes in the handwriting style of your choice, and then mail it with a real stamp. So it's a very quick and easy way to get your sentiment across
Hmm.
without having to lift a pen.
Okay, and especially I think that's pretty good for people with sloppy handwritings.
Yeah.
You just took that away. But I think when one of my editors was looking at this, he goes, "What? They're taking away jobs from human beings." Can you just clarify
Yeah.
this thing that because now with AI, everybody's just like confused about a lot of things, and I don't
Yeah.
want this to be one of the issues.
Yeah, the price point that we're doing this is at the most $3.75, including the card. You're
Hmm.
not going to get a calligrapher, and at the least you're paying like a buck 50, depending on volume and all that.
Hmm.
You're not going to get a personal calligrapher to do that.
Hmm.
So, basically what we're doing is creating jobs because we're creating a segment where you can get your notes out quickly, beautifully at a price point that every bride can afford. So we have 65 people here that are all employed helping getting these notes out, working on these robots. So and this is no BS. The robots actually create jobs here. Now, I know that might not be the case in other industries, but this is a new type of product that wouldn't be here without the robots. We couldn't, you couldn't get people to handwrite these for that price.
That's fantastic. So now, what inspired you to even get into this kind of creative process?
Yeah,
Because it is creative and just the whole concept is creative, but
yeah.
why? Why did you choose this path?
Well, I'm a serial entrepreneur. So prior to this, I had a text messaging company.
Oh, wow.
And what I realized is exactly what you said, which is everything's going digital.
Hmm.
And at the time, 11 years ago, or 12 years ago, when I started the company, um, texts and emails were out of control, and it's only gotten worse now. But when I received a handwritten note, not only did I read it, but I kept it, and I often put it on display. So I thought, gee, if there was a way to assist me in writing my handwritten notes, it would be a
Hmm.
great service for me. And one of my very first use cases was my wedding. I got married 10 years ago and I started the
Hmm.
company just about 12. And It's kind of grown from that ever since. Yeah, I mean, it's really about trying to stand out when everything's digital. There's a
Hmm.
real opportunity to stand out analog. I was just doing an Instagram post. Everybody's trying to get 7 seconds on Instagram, right? Because then
Hmm.
you kind of go viral if you could get 7 seconds. Well, when you send a handwritten note, you spend 5 seconds to 10 seconds just looking at the envelope, 5 seconds ripping it open, 2 minutes reading the card and admiring the card. And then you might put it on display, which would add another bazillion minutes. So, to get past that 7 seconds is very possible. You just have to pivot left when everybody else is pivoting right or vice versa. And that's
Mm.
what we help people do.
That's
But it's
fantastic.
also we live in a day and age where everybody is sensory deprived. We have five senses and we're only using one, sight, for nearly everything we do. But what about feel? How does that card feel in your hand?
Hmm.
If you want to get really esoteric, how does it smell and all that stuff? But at the very least, we help you bring in one more sense, which is touch,
Right.
which is being, is going away and going the way of the dodo right now.
I'm glad you said that because that's one of the big challenges that we face in the magazine world.
Yeah,
Print. I love print. I have a collection of just magazines, and the whole idea of touching it and flipping through the pages is special to me, you
yeah,
know. And one of my favorite designers, artists, is Tom Ford. And one of the greatest statement he made, and I still have it on my desk. The article where he said that the greatest thing you can do for someone to show your appreciation is write a handwritten thank you note
yeah,
and mail it to someone. Mail it
yeah.
to someone, and I still keep that. And so for me as a businesswoman, every time we get new clients and we give something our readers, and I personally, my handwriting isn't fantastic. I write a handwritten note and sign it in the best penmanship that I could.
Yeah.
And it feels good. And then the paper, it just feels wonderful, in one's hand. And I love opening cards. And during the holiday season, you get all the thank you from all the businesses, and you're able to just open it up. And I think it's special. So I love what you're doing.
Yeah, and what you're doing, Meredith, is the best. Actually sitting down and writing a handwritten card. I mean, that's what everybody should be doing. But in today's day and age, not everybody wants to do it, but
Hmm.
then, when you actually get them to do it, they might do it for a few days,
Right,
and then they'll peter out or they'll run out of stamps, they'll run out of ink, they'll make a lot of excuses.
right,
So we help get rid of those logistical hurdles, but
right.
make sure that their message is still getting across. And people say, well, you know, uh, is this as good as an actual, why would I do this over writing a handwritten note? Or, why wouldn't I just write a handwritten note? And the question isn't um, what's, should you do this or should you actually write a handwritten note? The question is, are you going to use our service or nothing at all? Because,
Mm,
it just depends on the scale you're doing. If you're a
right,
big nonprofit or you're a fashion house or you're a wedding and maybe you're an Indian wedding with hundreds and
right.
hundreds of guests, are
Exactly.
you going to sit down and do it as much as you should? Well,
Right.
hopefully you do sit down and write them all out. But if you don't, let us help you save the day and get those notes out.
And that's what it is. You offer convenience to
Right.
couples that want to do it. Of course, if you're doing it for less than 50 people,
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, you can still do. Is there a number I should ask you? Is there a number that's too small or too big that you say no to?
No, I mean, the beauty, and I don't want to pitch our service, I want to pitch sending handwritten notes, but the beauty of our service is you could just download the iPhone app and send one card. You're going to pay the most, you're going to pay $3.75, but that's still less than a Hallmark card from the store. So,
Mm,
no, there's no volume minimum. It's a great, we've done a lot of weddings. Mostly people say, do you do invitations? I would say don't use us for that. Use us for the thank you notes.
right.
But yeah, I mean, we do quantity one, no problem.
That's fantastic. Now, as far as the stationery, do the people um get to pick what stationery they want?
Yeah.
What are their options?
Well, we do have a number of cards pre-designed,
Hmm.
but for a wedding, I would recommend, and for no additional fee, you can go on and design your own card. So upload a picture of
Hmm.
you and your loved one, your
Hmm.
spouse, and then on the flip side of that, or when you open it up, we'll write your note. and we use thick vellum stationery, so it's a
Wow.
nice thick toothy stationery.
Hmm.
Or if it's a highly saturated image, like a photo, like I see
Hmm.
behind you, the world,
Hmm.
for that, I wouldn't use vellum because it's just not going to print that well. So I would
Hmm.
use, we have C1S, which is a glossy on the photo side.
Hmm.
And then on the writing side, it's nice and smooth and writable. So that's kind of what we do. We allow you to choose that style. You can do either a folded card or a flat card, depending on the vibe you're giving off.
Right.
And, maybe put you and your husband's logo or
Right.
initials at the top,
Right.
and then we'll write below that. So there's a lot of options, to kind of make it very personal and in line with your own style.
Okay. Now, you don't only do this for weddings, you can do it for other special occasions or corporate events, as you
Oh,
mentioned
yeah. We
earlier,
do a
right?
lot of thank you notes
Hmm.
for big brands,
Hmm.
luxury brands. We do a lot of condolence cards for veterinarians. We
Hmm.
do realtor cards and everything else. So, anybody that wants to make a better impression with
Right.
their contacts, we say, feel free to use us. We'd love to have you as a client.
Okay.
Yeah, and the turnaround time is 2 days. So,
Oh, wow.
you just upload your spreadsheet or type in your note, and 2 days later, out it goes.
That's fantastic. Now, what if I have my own stationery? Can I send it to you? And can you work with that or
The answer used to be yes, but in the interest of, we're doing 30,000 cards a day, and we can't, now we have to kind of have a system in place. So, what I
oh,
would recommend is design your card in our platform to look similar to your stationery,
okay, okay.
and then, we'll send that out. But unfortunately, we can no longer handle custom stationery. It breaks the system and errors happen and that type of thing. So we say, stick with what we have.
Okay, fantastic. I feel like this is a conversation that can continue on and
Mhm.
on because I'm a big fan because when I was in high school, I took
Yeah.
calligraphy.
Oh,
It
really?
was, oh yes, absolutely. I love penmanship. I still know how to write
Yeah.
in the
They
age.
don't even teach cursive in my
No.
my children's school anymore, which is
Yeah.
criminal.
Yeah.
And then you go to France or something and you get the receipt at a little bistro and it's all beautifully written in
Yeah,
cursive. You're just like, what's going
exactly.
on here?
Yeah, I miss that a lot. So I think I'm still in love with that whole era of paper,
Yeah.
stationery, and all of that good stuff. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to have this conversation to ease people, because I think it's a very unique, personal thing to be able to do offer what you do to, to our readers. And so I wanted to thank you so much for this. And, I'm looking forward to seeing some of your work myself. Um,
Um, well, we can certainly send you some samples
I
if
would love that so
yeah.
much,
Yeah,
so
I
much.
will get you some samples. But yeah, I'm just really here to tell people send handwritten thank yous, not
Absolutely.
necessarily through our service, do it on your own. And then once you can't do it anymore, hire a company like us.
Yeah.
Um,
But is
but
there
it
a
really
company
does make
like
a
you?
difference. There's a few. I
Okay.
think the quality results and the ease of use of the platform are drastically different.
Yes.
We're the oldest and the largest company out there, and
Right.
they're certainly cheaper, but you get what you pay for. It's
Absolutely.
pretty stark. So yeah, I mean, we'd love to have you as a client, but if not us, please just sit down with pen and paper and get those notes out because it really does make people's day.
I agree with you. So can you tell us the website and
Yeah.
how can people can now do they get to do a sample first before they say hit it or a sample is not required?
So they can send themselves a sample.
Mhm.
There is a free sample kit if you go to handwritten.com and you actually,
Mhm.
and I know it's not wedding specific, but you hit the for business.
Right.
There's a form there you could fill out and you get a whole sample kit. And then the pricing just depends on volume, but it starts at 375, goes down to about a buck and a half,
Right.
and it's handwritten.com, handwrytten.com.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. This was
No,
wonderful.
I got the email twice and I was like, this sounds like one of those machine things and people are going to be upset. And then I'm like, no, I want to answer the questions. I want to be a journalist.
Exactly. And
I
to your
want to
point,
hear
yeah, I
from
mean,
you.
it creates jobs. There's a whole bunch of people around here, whether they're engineers designing the robots or people feeding the robots or whatever, that none of them would have a job without these robots. So, this is kind of how things are going to go. We have to adapt or die with the new economy we're in.
Absolutely, I agree. Thank you so much again. And I look forward to working with you again and writing my piece.
Thanks, Meredith.
Guys, there you have it. That was David. So please check out the website. It's going to be below. And I want you guys to check it out, do a sample, and consider writing. Maybe it's for a private dinner, maybe it's for your rehearsal dinner, it's your thank you, whatever it is. But think about saying thank you to your guests. Until the next time, à tout à l'heure.